Good morning, children. In the previous classes, we have learned about the history of India, the role of different dynasties, their contributions and administration in India. Now, we are going to learn about human rights, which comes under the study of political science. Human rights are essential for the peaceful living, coexistence, and development of human beings. A nation can be identified through its human rights. Human rights enable everyone to lead a life of dignity. Hence, the UNO has declared the human rights and has said it is the duty of the state to protect the human rights. Now, let us learn about the meaning of human rights. Human rights are essential for every human being to lead a life of dignity. Human rights are conducive to universal development of human beings. The roots of human rights are traced to Athens and Sparta, the two city-states of ancient Greeks. Magna Carta or the Great Agreement is the base of the English Constitution. During 1215 CE, the King John of England broke many ancient rules and traditions. People revolted against the king, pressing for their rights. As a result, the king entered into an agreement and signed Magna Carta. Magna Carta means a great agreement, which was signed by King John of England. Due to this, the government's interference in the church came to an end. Citizens gained the right to have private and ancestral property. Magna Carta is an important development in the process of modern democracy. The list of human rights were declared on December 15, 1791 and included in the American Constitution. Human Rights Declaration in France in the year 1789 is an important milestone in the history of human rights. This declaration assured equal rights to all with respect to freedom, equality, property, and security. The development of human rights is not restricted to any single geographical area. It is universal in appeal. The preamble of UNO declares, "We, the people of the world, have decided to protect our future from the destruction of wars." In order to achieve this, the UNO directed all its member countries to protect the human rights compulsorily on December 10, 1948. Equality, fraternity, and freedom are discussed in the preamble of Constitution. There were 7 fundamental rights in the original Constitution. Later, by the 44th Amendment of the Constitution in 1978, the right to property was taken out of the fundamental rights and included under Article 300A as the constitutional right. Hence, there are 6 fundamental rights now. They are right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to religious freedom, cultural and educational right, at last, right to constitutional remedy. What are the difference between fundamental rights and human rights? Human rights are universal in nature and are necessary for the holistic development of human beings. The fundamental rights are specific in nature and are protected by the constitutional law. The violations of fundamental rights are addressed by the Supreme Court and High Court. Next, we are going to study about the institutions of human rights protection. UNO held meeting with all the member states in 1966 and has directed all the member states to remain committed to the protection of human rights. An International Human Rights Commission is formed at the international level. As supportive to this, National Human Rights Commission and State Human Rights Commissions are framed at national and state levels. What is National Human Rights Commission? National Human Rights Commission is a constitutional body. It was established in the year 1933. It has a chairman and 4 members. The chairman should be the retired judge of the Supreme Court. The members should be either the current judges of the High Court or retired judges. And 2 members should have practical knowledge of human rights. The Commission also has 4 ex-official members. The chairman and the members are appointed by the President of India. Their term of tenure is 5 years or till the attainment of 70 years of age. They receive remuneration as fixed by the central government. Next one is State Human Rights Commission. The State Commission has 1 chairman and 2 members. The chairman should be a retired judge from the High Court. The members should be either serving High Court judges or retired judges, or should have served at district courts for at least 7 years. They are appointed by the governor. National Commission for Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes was bifurcated in the year 2003 by 89th Amendment to Article 338. The National Commission for Scheduled Caste has 1 chairman and 1 vice chairman and 3 members. The Commission also provides needed information and statistics to the central government and state governments to plan various programs for the welfare of the people. National Commission for Scheduled Tribe came into existence as per the 89th Amendment to the Constitution in the year 2003. The Commission has 1 chairman, 1 vice chairman and 3 members. They are appointed by the President of India. National Commission for Backward Classes and for Women. This commission was founded in 1993. It has 1 chairman and 4 members. The commission protects the rights of backward classes. In order to protect the rights of the women, the National Commission for Women was formed under the law in 1990. The commission has 1 chairman and 5 members. It also studies the status of women with respect to education, sociological, economical and health. National Commission for Minorities also formed in the year 1992. Minorities means those who are below 50% of the whole. For example, Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, Buddhists, Parsis and Jain. They have 1 chairman, vice chairman and 5 members. This commission is only for these minorities. They protect the interest of these minority communities. Thank you, children.